Wouldn't that be nice?
We're recording now. So I'm just gonna count the puffballs because I got 3 across the bottom. So I did 1 in the middle and 2 on either side. That's 3. And then on the left side, there's 1 that sticks out this side. 1. There's a small one. 2. There's a big one. 3. And then there's this huge one that might be made up of other small ones. Then there's this little guy on the top. I know it doesn't look much like broccoli right now, but I think if I get the texture right and I make the smaller puffballs, I think it will look like broccoli. I'm hoping so hard that it looks like broccoli. Oh, did Kate just get in the house?
Yeah.
Maybe I should
Hi, Kate.
switch greens.
Could you square that broccoli just a tad?
Yeah, I can, but my pencil sharpener is not working. I bumped it. Sorry.
Okay.
Did I see that Lou was here? All right, here's my dull.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If this works. Still not working.
I really like those triangular marks that you made on the stem.
I appreciate
where
that.
where the leaves are pulled away.
Thank you for saying so.
You're welcome.
Because I just noticed them when I was drawing them myself. Okay, so in the spirit of going faster, I just invented a spiral that might be this like tight spiral that might be a good symbol, like a mark making symbol for broccoli leaves. And it does 2 things. 1, it makes small little circles. 2, I can draw it quickly. So the truth is that we're not drawing broccoli. We're making marks on a page that symbolize broccoli. Now, like I said, you could copy every single one of these petals, but that would take forever, and that's not the point of this exercise. I just like that we got a tree stump looking trunk, and then we've got the how's everybody doing on the broccoli, by the way? Did anybody pour yellow cheese on top? Wait, Stacy, you talked about butter.
Oh.
That would not be good. Should I put a big dollop of butter on the top?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying. So today we're going to do a jellyfish, which is going to be really colorful. It's a jellyfish that I've never drawn before. And it's going to have a lot of different mark making. It's going to have a lot of different colors, and it's going to have a lot of different marks. And then we're going to do a bumblebee. It's a zoomed in science illustration, so it's more technical. It's not like a cartoon. We're drawing from nature today. That's like kind of the theme. Instead of, yeah, Michaela, what's up?
Like, but when are we gonna finish the lion from last week?
I actually have the lion here, ready to go. So I think maybe we should try the lion. Can we do
sunset? But we never did that.
We never did the sunset either, did we? Did I say we're gonna do sunsets today? We have so much work.
No.
We could
there was
Yeah, I do like sky and
How's it going?
Whoever is talking, I'm so sorry. It turned into a robot voice,
Oh, okay.
and I just couldn't hear. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking to
You drawing?
complete this thing, you can find a couple different greens. I just found the green that I'm using right now is actually a better green. The green that I was using originally is kind of like a blue green, almost like a turquoise. And this green is so much better. So, I mean, when you start working, you'll learn, you'll be able to see the colors more. And you almost never get the colors right on the first try. So you can draw broccoli all day if you want. I'm gonna fill this in a little bit. Just for interest,
I don't think I've ever had, oh,
with
sorry.
that, Stace.
Oh, excuse me. I was just saying I have never in my life had so much fun with broccoli.
It's weird when, I mean, things from nature that you think are just so common or like not even interesting. If once you start drawing them, they become the most interesting things ever. I was just gonna say we'll do like 1 minute warning on this one. It's a warm up, so if hopefully you're happy with your broccoli. If you're not happy, it's okay. But I wanted to show you the broccoli that's next to it. This is the inside of the broccoli, which I think is pretty interesting too. Like, I'll zoom in on it. It's got this clear, system. It's a very the broccoli is actually lighter green on the inside, not darker green. And it's not really like a tree. Like trees have like bark on the outside and then, like grained wood on the inside. It's a very different thing, even though it kind of is tree-like. But this one actually reveals some of the green
I
leaves.
wonder if like
outside.
one time I saw a tree that literally looked like giant broccoli.
It does, yeah, it does. I mean, especially from a distance. I remember my parents had this painting in the basement, and there were all these fall leaves. So it was like oranges and reds. And the way it was painted, it was like sponge paint. And it looked just like, the treetops looked just like this broccoli. Okay. All right, we got Mr. Messick is joining us.
Like
All right.
in the other like right in the room, like to this side,
Yeah.
there's a chair that looks like it has broccoli on it. So I don't like that chair because it looks like it has broccoli.
Well, I mean, maybe you'll like the chair a little bit more now. Okay, so we're gonna let's look at the next one. The lesson that I have planned. This one has lots of colors. If you don't have any colors, it's okay because it's got lots of textures. So if you, I'll show you what I mean. Stacy sent me this photo today, and I was like, I have to draw this.
Yeah, the colors are beautiful.
Isn't it really pretty? I mean, it's just out of this world. That's what I mean. It's just
Like a plant kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah, it
Look-
looks like some weird thing of coral mixed with an anemone mixed with a jellyfish.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I
it
was
does.
because like
All of those
the
things.
weird like bottom things are almost like roots, and then the top thing
I mean, there's
is
so
almost like
much.
a sponge thing. It's almost kind of like a bladder or something.
Yeah, there's so much going on. So let me just like talk about it, and then as long as we do it step by step, it's not going to be scary. And what I like about it is that each part is so drastically different than the other part. So if you look at the top, we're going to start from the top and move down. These have like these little, they almost feel like jellyfish themselves, or like a whole separate animal. But there's all these layered, almost like peanuts that are kind of like growing out of this top. It's almost like a haircut or whatever. It's at the top. So we're going to start with those. Then we're going to go down. And then there's this next part that to me looks like a Frisbee. It's circular, it's elliptical. It goes all the way around. It's got some like, textured depressions along the tip, almost like you could like if it's like wet clay, you can almost like texture the edge of a bowl. Anyway, that to me looks like a Frisbee. So we're going to that's the widest part of the entire jellyfish. Then we're going to transition down into this chunky part that looks like lungs or like chewed up bubble gum, or even it reminds me like the bottom of a pumpkin. Have you ever seen a pumpkin that's like really bumpy? It's like a pumpkin that's got like a texture or warts on it. The point is that the bottom of this is rounded. So it feels like it's like the bottom of a bowl. The whole thing looks like it's the shape of a bowl, but then it's got all these other textures. And then on the bottom of that are all these tentacles. So each one you can use a different color, and each section is going to have a different part. So there's the one section at the top, the first one, which is interesting. We're going to make like a little dome of these little peanuts. Then we have the flat layer Frisbee. Then we have this kind of like almost like a waterfall, like a drooping, like concave transition from the Frisbee, into the bumpy bowl. And then at the bottom of the bumpy bowl, we're going to have all these tentacles. If you have blue paper, which I'm sure no one does, but if you had blue paper, you could sketch this on blue paper. I don't have.
I have like light blue paper, but I don't really know where it is.
I mean, I wouldn't take the time to go find it.
And besides, it's kind of flimsy. It isn't as good as like actual like.
Okay.
Paper.
So I'm going to start this off with regular pencil. So instead of doing colors, just because I just want to get like a handle on it. All right. So the whole first shape feels almost like the arc of a. It's like a semicircle. And so like
I must say
I
now,
actually put the semicircle
Trevor.
on there, and then I'm going to fill that semicircle in with these little nubs. They feel like, I don't know if you've ever seen The Little Mermaid, but there's like these little creatures that live on the bottom of the ocean. And I guess the big ones are in the middle, and then they get smaller as they go to the bottom. Look at that. So it's like one large semicircle and then a whole bunch of smaller semicircles. Interesting. Now that I think it looks good, I wish I did it in color. I always do that. I guess this one will just be gray. This part will be gray. The color below this could be blue or like red. I see like pink elements and blue elements. Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right, I'm just gonna fill.
Colors are spectacular.
Colors are really pretty. The first semicircle that I drew, I feel like you have to start somewhere, and I'm glad that I put that in, but I just erased it a little bit just so that the whole thing is made up of these smaller ones. Oh wait, why is my battery low? Did this come unplugged? Hold on a second, people. Oh. I think that's why my pencil sharpener is not working. The power outlet went out. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes. Okay. Pencil sharpener works. Sorry if I made that crooked.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I was thinking, if the thingy went out, I wonder, is like the recording thing connected to that?
It's not actually.
Well, that's good.
It is good. The recording thing is, well, the reason I figured that it was unplugged is because my battery on the computer got low, and it's plugged in, and so it was the power outlet that was out. So when I fixed that, my computer's charging, and the pencil sharpener is working. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I never actually realized.
Okay, so everybody, I need you to stop what you're doing and look up here, because this thing is going to be this next part might be a little bit challenging. So I just want you to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to make basically two major moves. I'm going to draw the inside of the loop. So the inside of our Frisbee, and then watch how I draw the outside of the Frisbee. I'm going to curve it around. I'm going to wiggle through the front, and then it's going to turn around. So it's almost like the collar on a dress, or watch this. So then this gets stripes. So I had it come around, and then I wiggled across the front. And the reason I'm making it wiggle is because I see it like that. I'm seeing the nature of the collar. It's like floating in the water. It's like, this thing isn't officially weightless, but it's pretty close to weightless, floating around in the water like this. So it doesn't necessarily.
It also,
yeah.
It looks a lot to me like the brim of a hat as well.
Totally. Yeah, like a soft summer, like gardening hat.
Yeah.
It does. That's a really good comparison.
It looks scary.
Yeah, it's a little scary. It looks like, I mean, it looks a little like an alien to me. I'm feeling like this looks like it's something from a different planet. So I'm going to combine my dark blue lines, even though it's from our ocean. It's just we don't see it very much, so it seems like unfamiliar to us. I'm going to combine my colors because I see a little bit of pink and I see blue, so I'm going to use both colors. And even though I'm not like using that, I'm not like filling it in necessarily, but it's nice to use, you know, colors in repetition. Just notice that, dude. You guys see how bright the colors are at the base of the? I didn't see that either.
Mm-hmm.
Like the magenta. It's not as bright red as I'm making it. It's more magenta. But
Hey, Trevor.
this is your drawing. You can
Just
use
trying
whatever
to
you want.
take attendance.
Yes. The question
Sarah Speed. Is
just
that
text the
Spencer?
book. Could be.
It's George Phillipson.
Nice. It's George.
Oh, it's George.
Yeah.
Hi, George. Thank you.
Hi. Brooks, I love Pikachu.
So I can see you guys just to let you know, I can see a list of the people that are in the class, but on your like your thumbnail of the video camera, it doesn't say your name. So that's why Kristen couldn't tell. And so anyway, just a heads up on that one. So when you talk and I can only see like a fraction of you at a time. So if you guys ask a question, maybe just be like, "Hey, I'm, George. I have a question about why we're not drawing deer right now." I'm just kidding, George. All right, next layer. Whew. Do you guys see purples? I just saw purple on the outside of that one. I'm gonna switch over to purple.
I'm using like some teal color, like a magenta color, and like purple.
Good. Those are like choose the colors that you think are like most beautiful. That's what I think. It depends on like the setting, and somebody the photographer could have gone in and like adjusted the colors on it. So like you can adjust the colors on it. The main difference between my drawing, I just noticed this now. The main difference between my drawing and this drawing, and you guys may have picked up on this, but it looks like he's swimming like up and to the left a little bit, like he's at an angle, and I'm drawing mine straight up and down. So that's okay. I just wanted to point that out because if yours looks like it's tilting, that's okay. All right, so I'm going to use this purple to talk about what I was calling a waterfall, but now that I'm looking at it, it's not even like a waterfall. It's more of like a, I don't know. It's like something I've never seen.
A monster in its nest.
It looks like a monster mouth. A monster sitting in his nest. Actually,
I already did that part.
All right. Well, you're going faster than me. I'm like talking through all this.
Not ready.
I really do, guys. You know the rules. The third rule of Mitchell School is that if you are inspired to, draw anything, all these lessons, you can copy what I'm doing, or you can go faster. You can go slower. You can make multiple. You can add to it. Whatever inspires you, go for it. It's really important that you do that. And I'm gonna do it the way I do it. I really want you to do it the way you do it. Wow. So I'm using the teal in the middle, and I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna layer it with blue. Some of you guys know this, but with color pencils, I found that the best way of layering color pencils is that you get 2 layers. So you can mix 2 colors together. After that, it just becomes so smooth that it doesn't really mix that well. So like color pencils, you can mix a little bit. You just can't like mix a whole lot like pastels or anything else. Okay, so I'm gonna start with
using pastels.
Nice. So you can actually mix really well with pastels. You can just keep layering and keep blending them out with your finger. Color pencils don't blend very well either, which is interesting. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to kind of do the same thing. Maybe not the exact same thing, but I'm trying to create something that looks like a bowl. because the whole point of a
I did the bowl.
the whole point of a jellyfish is that they're round, and we are actually able to kind of like look on the inside of this bowl. And then I'm going to make the bowl ridges. This is where I was talking about, looks like a pumpkin, is that, you know, the pumpkins have ridges. Now, they don't necessarily have bumps like this, but the bottom of a pumpkin, you know, kind of curls under itself. And then you get, you know, the bottom. And I haven't done any of the tentacles yet because I'm just trying to figure out this bowl and its like ridges. And then I can add more texture. There's all these little, like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a picture of like lungs, but it's like really like wrinkled, and you know, it maximizes surface area so that oxygen, you know, can get absorbed. And I don't know if that's the point of what these things are, but it looks like there's a lot of surface area in there. So I'm switching, and I'm actually incorporating. Remember with the broccoli, I started doing spirals to get like a lot of little marks quickly. I'm using that again. I'm seeing them kind of in rows. So whatever you do to represent this, you know, part of the bowl, I would say just try to do it across the entire area. You know, so like the frisbee, that all looks the same. The monster in its like cave, that all looks the same. The lungs or the bottom of the pumpkin bowl, that all looks the same. And it might take a little while to get it all filled in, but I think it's going to be worth it.
Trevor,
Yes.
you didn't do the up thing on the frisbee.
The up thing on the frisbee.
Oh, they mean at the tips?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Part of the fun of the frisbee is that it kind of curls up, and then it curls down, and then it flips up. It flips up like wispy hair, like bangs. I had a friend whose bangs, they'd come from the top, and then they'd like wisp up like that. And it's such a beautiful part. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't want to. There's so many things that you can miss out on if you go too fast. So, and I'm moving a little quick here, but thank you for that. That was awesome. And even I added just a different color to those wisps as well. That made it look nicer. Groovy. And guys, if you see something that I leave out or something that I can make better, I would love to hear what you have to say, because we're here to try and make our art better. And when there's 10 people working on the same project, it's going to get good.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm checking it out. Is that Luke?
Yeah.
What's up?
So I was thinking that the thing that number one, that frilly-ish part almost looks kind of like a pumpkin, and I think that there should be almost like ridges on the end of that,
Little dots, like little.
like at the like around the outlines, because it also has like weird circle things along the outsides as well.
Yes.
And also, I realized that is like more of a grayer color.
Like a brown, it's like a warm gray.
Yeah, and I think it'd actually look kind of cool if you mix that purple and that gray together.
Okay, let's do that. Let me finish this end over here. And I just noticed too that like the inside of the bowl, can you see the inside of the bowl? The inside of the bowl, like towards the back, is really dark. And I actually just picked out this blue so I could try to show the inside
It's like a blue.
of like the monster's hole. Hopefully I didn't screw this up. But you know, the nice thing about, you know, I talk about screwing things up. It's hard to screw things up so bad that, you know, because you can always start again, and you can always take a break. You know, you don't have to, and like, you know, you can come back in 2 years from now and draw a jellyfish. And it's not going to
Excuse
be.
me?
Yeah, question.
You have a question?
It's not really a question. It's kind of a statement,
Sure.
I guess. One time I think my brother was drawing something, and he like accidentally made a mistake on it, and I'm like, Matthew, if you literally you can literally take that and turn it to this. So really, if you have when you were telling that, I was thinking that you could really make any mistake, and then and then you can like turn it into something cool.
Yeah, I mean, what, like,
Yeah.
completely. The thing about it is like seeing the opportunity, you know. So you were pointing out. So when I'm saying seeing the opportunity, it's like it might seem like a mistake, but part of creativity is coming up with a way to make that thing that was different than what you were expecting work in your favor. So thinking creatively, you're like, okay, well, this isn't exactly what I had planned, but there's a way for me to make this even better than what I had originally thought. I mean, that's just like the attitude that I normally take. And art is a really good place to learn how to do that. You know, learn how to create something from nothing. You know, and like there's some people that call it happy mistakes. So what you were pointing out, Luke, too, about the nature of like the little dots, like little light dots. I was thinking because the dots are almost the same color as my paper, it would be hard to make them stand out. So I just decided to change the color completely, and I want the dots to stand out. So I used a bright orange. So if you look at all the light white spots that are happening, I just decided to switch completely, and I'm going to make them orange. And they'll be able to stand out. And I know it's not exactly what I'm observing, but I think it's going to be, I mean, I'm trying to make my drawing look the best I can make it. And I'm not here to copy the photograph exactly. And actually it looks like a sea urchin or like a sand dollar or something. There are times when you want to copy it exactly right. You know, if you're doing this were like for a science journal, or if it was basically for scientific purposes, you'd want to be more accurate. But I'm like, this is an excuse for me to use lots of colors. Let's see, I think Eric's in the house. Sorry, I keep bumping the phone. All right, this is the last stop, y'all. Let's see what we can do about these tentacles. So the way that the jellyfish is photographed, he's a light jellyfish up against the dark of like a purple or a blue ocean, like infinity. You know, there's this like ocean background that's really dark, and then the diver came in and shot a light on this thing, caught it in the darkness. I mean, the thing is swimming along in the dark. It doesn't even know that anything else is there. There's no light receptors anywhere on this creature. So the diver shined a light on it and made this thing like illuminate. So the background is dark, but you're probably working on white paper. I'm working on yellow paper. So we have to come up with something else. So you could use blue, you could use a light blue, you could use a dark blue. You could also draw around the outside of them so that you can make them light. You could even color in the ocean if you wanted around them. There's a lot of choices. I think I'm gonna just try to. I'm just gonna give them blue tentacles, and it'll be okay if they're dark. I'm more interested in seeing how the.
Is this still a practice one?
That's a good question. I feel like everything's kind of practice, but then everything's game time too. Whoa, nice! You went with the blue too. This is one of the main ones. Definitely one of the main ones. But we'll start the main after this. So like the one that'll last the rest of the.
Hi, Trevor.
Will be after this. Who's that?
Hi, Trevor. We're so sorry we lost track of time. Spencer just arrived. How should he begin?
So what we did is we started at the top and worked from the top down. I think, Spencer, you should work from the bottom up. So you're probably not going to have time to do everything. But if you drew really, really small, I can just recap what we did. And then I can also send you the video. So Spencer, don't panic. I have the video. I'll email it to you, and you can watch from the beginning. So if you want to just like try to catch up.
Oh, that's terrific.
Or you can just draw the tentacles, and when we finish the tentacles, you can come back later and watch the video.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about these tentacles, though, is it seems like there's a greater amount of short ones. You see how there's like a lot of short ones, and then there's like there's like a few long ones, and then there's like even fewer really long ones. So I'm gonna I just started drawing, which is sometimes where you have to start when you don't know what you're doing. You just kind of got to go for it. So I'm gonna draw some short ones because I just analyzed it. They come out of the side. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see my whole drawing. They look like they conclude with a little drop, like a little teardrop. So I'm going to get a little S-curve teardrop, S-curve teardrop. And we might be doing this for a while. Spencer, you might have more time than we anticipated.
Or you could just like do a lot of lines.
You could. What I want you to feel, though, what I want you to think about, I want you to think about the water moving these things. I think they're like worms or whatever. I think they can move by themselves, but I think they're also really affected by the water swerving, in this kind of like weightlessness. So I'm just gonna I'm thinking about the curve of the water. I'm trying to populate the bottom, the underside with lots of little guys. And then the obviously the longer ones overlapped. So I'm just getting into the same motion. I'm using
Madeline. Beautiful, Madeline.
S-curves. Ooh, hold on, let me see. Yes, guys. Yeah.
Let's see that, Luke. Did you also have your hand up, Luke?
Yes. This is
Luke, it looks like you're doing a math equation where it was like broccoli plus jellyfish equals the best dinner ever.
That would be weird.
I'm just kidding. It might equal the worst dinner.
So I have this eraser.
Plus squid, not jellyfish. Squid is pretty good.
Sweet. These are looking good. Excellent. The colors are fantastic.
Excuse me.
Can I see what the Pikachu's got? What do you got, Mr. Messick?
Pikachu.
These are great, guys.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah. Question.
So I have it's not really a question. I have an eraser.
Yes.
But it's almost like a clay. And I molded it into like a little guy. Look.
Yeah, it's called a kneaded eraser.
Look, I molded it into like a little guy.
Oh.
Let me
I have two of them.
Wait, did you sculpt it into a?
Yeah.
Oh, into a character. I thought maybe he looks cool. He looks like a snowman sort of with the top hat.
Yeah.
At least the top hat does. All right, guys. So listen, I know most of you are done. We're gonna switch over and we're gonna restart the lion. I was gonna do the bumblebee, but I think we should do the lion.
No.
If you guys weren't here for the past lion, it's okay. Luke, you don't want to do the lion?
No, I want to see the bee. Also, you told us that I think you sculpted something.
Oh, yeah, let me show you that one. I sculpted the actually, do you guys mind if we put the lion off? And then next week, I promise we'll do the lion and a sunset. Because I do have, the bee is really good and I have it all planned. But as long as you guys can wait just 1 week, I promise we'll do the lion and the sunset in the same day. Man, honestly, I'm telling you, the more tentacles I add, the better. Now, I don't think it's gonna stay like that forever, but I have to admit, it looked awkward without a lot of them, and now it's starting to actually look cool. Like it's kind of like, and I'm copying some of them. I'm copying exactly as I see them, with the wiggle, and then others I'm just like making it up. So it's like a combination of invention and observation, which is a lot of what art is actually. So do you guys want to go see my sculpture?
Yeah. What sculpture?
I think he sculpted something like that we're drawing.
Oh, neat.
I sculpted the,
Oh, look at that.
it's supposed to be the broccoli,
Yeah.
but it was the half of broccoli. So I'm going to color it. It's like a broccoli cut in half.
That's great.
Is it made out of foam?
It's made out of Model Magic. Model Magic is kind of like foam-like. It's like non-toxic, it air dries, and you can color it. So I'll probably color it with markers. But the way that I did the leaves, I like poked it with like a little. It was just like how I did the drawing. Like you had to make it something look like it was a lot of leaves, but it's just actually a lot of little holes poked into it. And then when you put it down, it looks like broccoli. And I used the whole puffball, the puffy cloud-like idea. So sculpture ultimately isn't actually that different than drawing and painting. A lot of the same ideas.
I already did the bee.
Oh no, not this bee. This is a different bee. This bee is more science oriented. What? Why does this keep turning off? The nice thing about this bee too is that it's got there's a lot of texture. There's a lot of texture on it as well. Oh, then I sculpted this too. You guys recognize that?
Gummy bear.
I made a huge gummy bear. You can't tell, but it's like 3 inches. It's like 3 inches. Most gummy bears are like this big.
Excuse me.
That looks like made out of cabbage.
It's
Did you know that there's like this weird company that makes these gummy bears, except they're like as big as like footballs.
I've seen that, and I think they're only like $25 or something.
Yum.
Those are great, Michaela.
Yum.
I don't really like gummy bears that much, so.
Your message to Kristen says. Your message to Kristen says my body keeps stopping.
All right. Yeah. All right. So I know this might look a little scary, but it's going to be.
I love the texture of.
It's going to be way easier than you think. I promise. If you guys just stick with me, and the key is that it's got a head, it's got a thorax, it's got an abdomen, and the head is going to be an oval. Let me show you really quick. The head is an oval that goes like up and down. So it's like really narrow. And then the body is almost a circle. It's more of like an egg, but it's almost a circle, which is wild. Hold on, I didn't miss you. I saw that one. And then what I think is the hardest part, but it's also the best part, is the abdomen. And that's where we're gonna get this, like, it looks almost like a shark fin shape. And that's where like the stinger comes out of the tail. And then he's got fur, and he's got the legs, he's got the antenna, and he's got these little pinchers in the front that we're gonna get to draw. And then of course he's got these wings. So those are the parts of the bee. And if we just set off in this adventure together, relatively slow, by the end, we're gonna have a really, really beautiful picture. And you can use all kinds of colors too. All right, try to maybe get like a fresh sheet of paper, and then start on the left, start on one side. And we can imagine that this bee is on like a petal or something, but we need to draw first an oval. And it's not just any oval, it's an oval that's taller than it is wide. So it's like a really narrow, and that's gonna be his head. Now, the oval doesn't look like anything by itself, so we have to make it kind of look like a head. So we can put a smaller oval towards the top of that oval, and that's going to be the eye. And I think with the eye, there's a little highlight in there. You guys ever drawn like anime characters or like cartoon characters, and you put like you save a little white spot for like the reflection in the eye? That's kind of what this guy's doing. There's like, he's showing that the eye isn't moist necessarily, but it's reflective. And so he saves a little spot. And then just to make it look like an eye, I think we should try to shade it just gently. We're gonna add, it looks like there's all this, like these hairs. And I know that insects don't actually have hairs, but they have fibers that are hair-like. And I think they're called something special, but I'm not really sure what it is. So right now, all we have is an oval for the head. We have an oval for the eye, and we filled the eye in, but we saved the little reflection off of that eye. And honestly, it kind of looks like a bee already. I wasn't expecting that, but I kind of see a bee. Before we do the weird technical mouth, let's do what I think is like something easier that everybody can do, which is the antenna. And the antenna is in two parts. One is a string of beads, and the other is basically like a bar that comes out. So the first part, let's use a rectangle. It comes out of the middle. That's the bar that's going to hold the antenna away from the head. And then we can do this string of beads. So imagine if you had actually a necklace that had beads on it. Not that it was your necklace, but maybe like somebody else's necklace that had all the beads lined up tight next to one another. Draw the string as a curve and then stack the beads. 1 bead, 2 beads, 3 beads. And since it's science, okay, so there's 11 beads on it. Maybe that matters, maybe it doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The bigger the bead, the longer your antenna is going to be. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. And it looks as though they got smaller as they went to the end. Maybe I'll erase that last one and make them a little kind of small. No, I don't understand what's happening. Why is my computer? Okay, supposedly it's plugged in now. Let me just check to see if the pencil sharpener works. Pencil sharpener works? All right.
I have the same pencil sharpener.
It's so good, isn't it?
Me too.
I
I
also
love this pencil sharpener. It came from, if you guys don't have a pencil sharpener.
Can I show you my bee so far?
Yeah, show me. Show me, George. You gotta make it go closer. Just bring it closer to the screen.
See now?
Oh yeah, you're crushing it, man.
Oh, see, and George, can you hold that up one more time? I missed it.
So let me point out, George. Let me say one thing. The legs. You know how you have solid lines around the legs, solid line around the head and the abdomen. That's good. You're gonna probably need to erase or lighten the line for the body. So let me just this is where you can use a little artistic license. We do have to add these pinchers. I'm gonna add almost like a termite kind of thing. I don't you got to do something for the mouth at the base of this head. Now, they look like they're little orbs. I can't tell what they are, and I don't have a microscope, and I don't have another angle, but this honeybee, is obviously is going in and retrieving stuff more than just pollen. I mean, it's going in and getting food for the queen to go make honey. So there's a mouth that does really important work. And so I'm just going to draw that on there. Okay, let's go. Since some of you guys are moving faster.
The queen doesn't make the honey.
What's that?
The queen doesn't make the honey.
No, I know, but these worker bees go and retrieve material and bring it back to the
queen.
Yeah, they bring it back to the house where the honey is actually made.
And then they actually stir it up with their tongues. Isn't that weird?
It is weird. So maybe that's where this tongue comes out of. All right, so let's try this. I want you guys to be super aware, and George actually got this really well, even though he went ahead a little bit. He did this perfectly. With the size of our oval and then the next size of our body, you want to try to make them match up. So the body is way bigger. It's a circle. And you need to draw a circle, and maybe it's an oval. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit longer than it is tall. But I mean, if you look at the size of the head and you look at the size of the head and the thorax, I think it's called. Yeah, the thorax is in the middle. It is it's noticeably bigger than the head. And then the abdomen is noticeably bigger than that. So one thing to be aware of is that the fur, like the bee fibers, they look like they radiate out from the center of the circle, just like the sun. So I'm actually going to institute some of these fibers, and then they're going to be outside the circle. So now this is what I was saying with George. It's like, well, we needed the circle to begin with, but like the circle doesn't really show up.
This is mine so far.
The whole thing's made up of fibers. It looks great, dude. The legs look
Thank
yeah, they look good. So even though we used the circle originally, I'm gonna try and minimize it by just erasing it a little bit, and then turning that line into fibers. And if you've ever drawn a sun, you know, all the sun rays come out of the center, just like.
Didn't you say when you said we might do the sunset, you also said we might do a sun? Like I think that's kind of obvious since we're making a sunset, so we'll
make the sun. And there's like the way artists have represented like the rays of sun, is just there's just so many different ways of doing it. It's spectacular. I just noticed this too. You know how the eye has a reflection on it, and then it's dark. I don't mean to change gears though, but look at the antenna. Each one of the beads of the antenna has a highlight on it. So you could put a little highlight and then shade in the rest of it. Sorry, that was like a little bit random, but I just noticed it. I mean, the eye and the antenna are almost exact. And I'm looking at the other dark parts. Look at the legs. Don't draw the legs, and even the abdomen. There's like a shine.
The reflection.
What's that?
The proboscis should have the reflection.
Correct. Yeah, it's like either greasy skin or shiny exoskeleton, but they all have reflections off of the light source. All right, so the last thing we're gonna attach the legs, but notice that all the legs are attached to this ball. So it looks as though, even though the legs overlap the abdomen, which we're gonna draw next. So trust me, we're gonna draw the abdomen next, and then we're gonna add the feet. But just know that all three of the feet on this side are attached to the ball. They're not attached to the abdomen. Okay, so that's good. Hopefully you can come back and work on this ball. This center ball is probably one of the most important parts because the wings are attached to it, as well as all three legs. So there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of muscle. Like this thing is a ball of muscle. All right, so I need you to use your X-ray vision a little bit. And I just want you to imagine that this back leg is not there. Okay, so we're almost going to be like assembling this bee. So we're going part by part. So we got the head, we've got this circular body, which just turned out to be like a hairy sun. And now we need the abdomen. So we're going to start off narrow where it attaches, and we're going to build a trapezoid. And you can see it right here. It's unsuspecting. It's kind of like small, but it does pinch in where it attaches to the body. It's a very narrow connection. And then I know we've done this a million times. I think even if you're new to this class, I know you've drawn a shark fin before. And when I'm talking about a shark fin, I mean like, we're in the water, in the ocean, and then there's a shark that's coming, and you've got that shape. So instead of this being a shark fin, if you add a stinger to the end, it's like a bee stinger. So watch how I do this.
It's a bee shark. Wait, no, it's like the bee's like sticking its like butt like up from the water, but it like died or something.
It looked like the bee was diving into the ocean. That was hilarious. Okay, so just check this out. So the way I drew that one is it had a mostly curved side and it had a mostly straight side. So now it's a little bit different. I want you to copy what you see, but you can see that this is the curved shark fin side. And then this is the straight side. And it does, the bottom has a little section, where the stinger actually comes out where it points. There's these plates on the back, which I'm just noticing now too. There's upper plates and lower plates. So look at the lower plates along the bottom. And there's these upper plates on the top. So as long as we have the main fin, the main like abdomen, I guess thorax abdomen, yeah, then we can add a big plate. Then we can add a smaller plate and then an even smaller plate. And then it finally goes back here. Wow. So whenever I think of whenever there's a cartoon of a bee, it's like black and yellow, and it's like striped. The abdomen is kind of striped. So I think we're gonna wind up getting, it's a yellow bee with black stripes, and I'm just gonna show where there are black stripes on the back. So that might help you draw the plates if you know that there's black parts. And then I never noticed that before in a bee either. But like the front of the abdomen, it's mostly yellow with small black stripes. And then if you look at the plates that are towards the tip,
I did another one.
crushing it. Can I see? Well, that's the other thing. If you know how to do one, you can make an entire hive. Like George, do one that's like super small. Do one that's actually the size of a bee. So then you have bees that are really close and then really far away. Try one that's actually bee-sized. That might be fun.
Hey. can I
Luke,
share
did you
mine?
have a question?
Yeah, no, kind of. Can I share mine?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
I just got to find. I can only see like 5 kids at once. Yes, nice colors, dude.
Wow. You know that I missed that, Luke.
Yeah, will you put it back up? Okay, I put it in grid view so I can see more people now.
Thank you.
I see 3 of them up there. They all look really good.
Mine.
Whoa, yours is. We got some super colors going.
Let's see that,
This
Michaela.
is making me very happy. All right, do we dare add these legs?
Thank you, Michaela.
Michaela,
Yeah.
good.
Very
I
good.
think they're crushing it. Yeah, the black legs. We'll add those legs on. Do me a
Ooh,
favor. We're gonna
Set
do the
that
front.
up.
We're gonna do the front legs first, and then we'll do the middle leg. You don't get to see all the parts of the middle leg, and we can do this in 2 minutes. Because if you can draw an oval, which I all know you can draw an oval, then you just stack 3 ovals, and you're gonna get the legs. So I know it's getting close to time, but check this out. So we got.
You could you could also like make 2 ovals.
Yeah, we're actually gonna need 3 ovals for every leg. So the front leg, where it attaches to the body, we're gonna get 1 major oval. And believe it or not, there's a little teeny nub where it comes off of. So there's 1 oval. Then we're gonna overlap it by a second oval. And then we're gonna get a third. Then we're gonna get a third oval. Now the third oval here is interesting because there's like all these little I don't know what kind of shapes they are. Maybe they're little triangles. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah, they're triangles.
Yeah. So there's like triangles that allow the bee to like grasp on to whatever he's flying on. So listen, we got 1 minute left. So the first oval that we did is coming out at an angle. It's heading toward. It's like leaning forward. The first oval in the second leg is completely overlapped by the second one. And that's why it's not, it was actually the artist, I don't think did that great of a job, because the ovals, we know there's 3 ovals per leg and then the triangular attachments. So this one, it makes it look like there's only 2 ovals, but really there's a third one that you can't see.
It's 11.
I know.
Already?
Already, I know.
That's crazy.
So the second leg, you only see two. And remember, the legs are going to be just like the eye, and they're going to be just like the antenna in that they have a little reflection. So you want to like protect the highlight. So protect the highlight and then fill in the rest dark. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but it'll take you like 3 minutes to do that. Highlight and then you fill it in. Now this back leg, the back leg is actually really awesome because it's the biggest and it overlaps both the body and the abdomen. So we're going to do the first oval, which is longer than basically any other one that we did. Then we're going to do a second oval, which is the biggest shape that we've seen on any legs so far. It's very impressive. And then the third oval is like equally as wide, but not as long. And I'm going to use an oval for that as well.
Let's see that, Madeline. Keep that nice and still, okay?
This is so cool.
Very
So,
nice.
then I'm going to add these little triangular grass.
Thank you.
I wish
I never thought of drawing this bee would be so fun, but it's actually probably like one of the funnest things we've done all day.
That makes me really happy. I feel like I'm doing my job well.
Jacob,
I always know I'm doing my job well because the drawings that you all make, are really good. And
Thank you, Jacob.
yeah, that bee is phenomenal.
These
These
are
are
so
super
great.
fun.
I made a
So
bee.
you can practice too.
I made a bee stinging a hand.
Spencer.
I love that idea. However you can make it interesting, Michaela, these look great. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you had fun. I really did.
Layla,
Emma's looks, can I see Emma's?
let's see that again. Push that over a little bit. I can't see that, Layla.
Emma, yes.
Getting your
Look
name
at all
right.
of that background. That background is awesome. Oh, let me show you one last thing before we go. If you draw your bee small, here's this bee. That's a bee. You can show where he was flying by doing this dotted line. I know it's cartoony, but it's actually really
It's a cookie.
Mr. Twist, may I see your final bee?
Oh yes, this is my final bee. It's flying around the rectangle. Now here we go. Do you need it? You want to take a screenshot? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, if you could bring that up just a tiny bit.
Your bee's wing
Thank you.
Your bee's wing is you forgot the bee's wing.
I forgot the wing. You guys, I forgot the wing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the wing, what would I call it? I'm just gonna make it long, attach up high, and then we're basically seeing the wing totally from the side. So it's like completely flat. Hey, what's up, girls? Come on in.
These bees are unbelievable. I gotta say.
Unbelievable. What's up, dude? All right, so I would add those wings on there. It looks like they attach, towards they got that attached to the middle. The middle.
Madeline, beautiful.
All right, so
Ruby.
I will
These are great.
I'm going to send out this video. So if some of you guys came in late or whatever, and then if you want to watch it again, you can do that too. Well, I'll just send the video out to everybody, and then I think I'm going to try and get it up on YouTube too. I just got to make sure everybody's face is blocked out, but it'll be fine.
Very nice,
It
Michaela.
was really good to have class. We'll see you next week. Listen, next week is going to be both the lion and the sunset. I promise to do the lion and the sunset.
Okay,
Stay
bye.
Everyone have a great
See you next week.
Have a great week.